Hello, 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 Capricorns. Welcome, welcome. I'm doing this on the 4th, so may the 4th be with you. Yeah. Oh, we're such Disney people, so I have so many Disney shirts, as you can tell. If you've watched me before, seems like everything is Disney, Disney. My daughter used to work for them, so we had lots of things. So anyway, let's get started. This is for the week of the 10th through the 16th, guys. Woo! We are moving along. There is a new moon on the 11th. And yes, I am going to do a new moon reading. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll know when I'm on. I'm not going to post the thumbnail for a bit yet. Still working on the divine on when he wants me to do that. So definitely make sure you do that. So I don't have any other announcements at this time other than that's about it. So I'm going to be doing a different spread today for you. Through the month of May, I'm going to be playing around with different spreads only because I'm sure you're bored with the same old, same old. If you've been watching me, it's nice to have some variety. So you'll be surprised. I'll just sort of throw in different readings. This one here is going to be along with the 3 oracles. I am not going to stop the divine. He is the number one. He'll always have a card and what to say in here because we are divine driven and divine guided. So definitely. And then I will be doing I'm going to do a wealth, a health, and a love card at the end. So hang in for that. So let's get started. See what divine has to go for you guys. All right. Yes. Finally. Yes. Capricorns. Yes. Oh, wow. Okay. Starts out good. No, just joking. So remember, first card is divine. So divine is because this is what he is either answering. He's answering something, you're asking a question, or you're going through a struggle or a challenge, or you're like, why does this keep happening? Why does it turn out this way? This is a good card. This is a very hopeful card for many of you guys because whatever you're doing and whatever you're going through, he's saying, no matter how bad it is or hard it is, I know this is going to sound really bizarre, and I didn't understand it for the longest time, but I do now, is to be thankful. Just turn around and say, divine, I don't understand. You can see more than I can see. But I thank you for having me go through this because I'm sure that I'm going to have a lesson to learn from this. So thank you, that it's going to make me better and stronger because your card today is joy. Woohoo! And joy is just being thankful, being happy, but joy is internal. And this is the number 10 in numerology. So this is really a big thing. When this is the number 10, this means that somebody has gone to the next level. And so that it is a new beginning. It is a joyful beginning. It is a refreshing beginning. It is full of love and light because this is joy. Joy is internal. If it were to say, oh, yeah, it's happy, well, that's worldly and that can change like a fart in the wind, Woo! But anyway, it would change because it is worldly. Joy doesn't change. You can't take joy away because joy is something inside you always have. So this is going from like a worldly happiness to a joyful spiritual inside happiness. This could also be something around you being in joy, something that is around you full of joy. So sort of look at that. So the divine is wanting to say, whatever you're going through, whatever you're questioning, whatever you're asking, just be thankful because I got something coming that is going to be really wonderful and joyful. So just pay attention. The reason why I'm saying this is because this next card for this current energy for the 10th through the 16th is about transformation. It's a butterfly. Okay, the butterflies have been popular in the last couple of weeks. Transformation has been popular in the last couple of weeks. And this is about the number 7, which is about your potential ambition. So if you're loving something that you do and loving the people that you're around, that is your potential and ambition because that's the ultimate thing that we're here for is love. And love brings joy, period. You know, in love, if it's not in love, it's, you know, it'll bring you happiness, but it's not in joy. And the reason why this card is so important, because this is the current energy, the butterfly, is because this is a time, and this is the number 7 again, is about rebirth. So things have to end. The number 10, joy. Okay, this is about rebirth. This is something ends and something is reborn. Something ends and something is reborn. That's your future card. I don't make this stuff up. I don't. I don't. I let him do it because he knows what he's talking about. I don't. I'm the conduit. But also too, the birth and rebirth is the number 5. As we just had the novice card, I think it was on Virgos. The novice card was about the number 5 because it's unstable. Rebirth or having a birth is unstable. When a baby's born, it's like, holy crap, it's here now. What are we going to do? It's like, oh, wow, now we really have reality in front of us. This is a fresh, new, exciting, exhilarating time. Well, that's what's happening with the planets as well, because this is a time for ending things and new things coming in. So this could be anything that's happening in your life. So this is about transformation. Now, I think it was in Virgos, that it was transformation of their spirit, awakening of the spirit, listening to the spirit. This is about your joy. So what are you thankful for? Okay, because this is about your joy. This is about, and do you even have joy? Do you even know the difference? Do you feel it? This is a really good lesson in coaching to really make you think internally. Am I happy or am I joyful? So, you know, what makes you happy? That's the key question to learn if you are more worldly or if you're more spiritually. Because if I were to sit in front of you and ask you and you'd say, oh, well, my husband makes me happy, you know, my job makes me happy, my house makes me happy, you know, my garden, I love my garden, it makes me happy. These are all earthly things. These are all worldly things. If you were to tell me, oh, just watching my children play, it brings happiness to me. No, that's joy. Watching my husband work just brings joy to my heart. That's internal. That's things that you cannot take away. There's a very big difference between happiness and joy, or joyfulness, if you want to call it that way. All right. So this is about understanding how important it is to be thankful for our struggles, thankful for our process, thank you for our trials, our tribulations, because this is a transformation process. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. May the 4th be with you. All right. Let me see what's going on here. All right, so I'm going to start with the first energies out here, because in intuitive tarot, it's a connection. The tarot cards are the telephone to the other side, basically. Okay, so, but this is a tool. As an empath, an intuitive empath, I don't need cards. However, if I'm watching the cards, somebody comes through to share their input, their wisdom for somebody that's watching this. So that is why the cards are there. A lot of people are like, oh my God, she reads tarot. You got to be kidding. You know, really seriously? Well, actually, the cards are the tool. The telephone. Hello, are you over there? But a lot of people don't realize that I don't need the cards, because I've had this ability ever since I was young. It's just grown since the 90s humongously. And it just helps me to see the other energies that need to come through or want to come through. This is the awakening part years ago I had. All right. All right. Let's see what else he's got to say, or whoever's on the other side got to say. All right. So for somebody, this is an energy. For somebody, one energy that have coming through right now is that there is somebody that is Interesting. They may have had a past. This is a friendship. I was going to do, no, I'll do this. I am going to do health. I'm going to do wealth, health, and love here at the end on the side here. So just so you guys know. There is somebody here that had a friendship, didn't go very well. I mean, it was a really strong friendship, whether it was, the same sex, male, female, I don't know. It's just an old friendship. Money got in the way. So maybe somebody went off to the job, somebody went off to move, they had to go to move because of their work, or maybe their parents had to work. But anyway, it split the friendship up. So I don't know who this is for, but somebody got a little bit arrogant. You know, went from being very humble to, I'm making a lot of money now, so you know what, ignore me. Not ignore me, but you know what, you don't mean that much to me anymore because now I'm big. So, that kind of a thing. So they sort of got little, snooty pants kind of a thing going on. Then they got humbled. They got humbled. And they got humbled because something happened, and the Hierophant stepped in. So we have the Six of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Five of Swords. So and then the Hierophant came in. Now remember, the Hierophant is the card for 2021. It is about spiritual awakening. So if somebody gets humbled, they're going to be brought to their knees, and it's like, oh yeah, this money isn't that important anymore. My friendship was, and so they may try to come back. Now, this may try to come back in this week. It may try to come back. I'm going to say they're probably going to try to come back between now and maybe the middle of July. So you might have an old friend be knocking on your door, calling you, texting you, maybe even emailing you, checking you out on Facebook. They might even be watching you on Facebook and you don't even know it. That's creepy, isn't it? I hate that. But this is a really good friendship. This is a friendship that somebody wants to come back. They messed up. They want to come back. They're transitioning. They're learning how to, they're very much transitioning. Somebody's learning how to, one is learning how to forgive, because the way they got treated wasn't very nice. I don't know who that is, because it's all about money. And it had to do all about possessions, about things. And to this other person, that didn't mean anything, because that other person, they were more spiritual. They were more joyful. Again, the other person was happy, because happiness is about material things. Okay. And it's also about things that we can tangibly touch or whatever. It's more world. But this other person was not. So I think this relationship is going to come back, whether it's a friend, I don't think this is family. Could be though, or it could be a lover, or could be whatever. But this is about rebirth, starting over again. So I don't know who that's for, but somebody is actually, so when somebody comes back to ask for forgiveness, and really you had a really good relationship, and maybe somebody just made a mistake and messed up, went and lived life, because we do this when we're young. We're in our 20s. Our whole mindset is different than when we're in our 50s or 60s. But somebody made a mistake and they want to come back, make amends. Just know that, walk in love. Act how you would want to be treated. Think how you would want to be treated, and speak how you would want to be treated. Okay, because that is joy. That's divine. Divine is saying, how do you want to do this? Are you going to walk in love, or are you going to walk in fear? Thank you. Somebody's on the other side. Fear, fear, fear. It's like, that's not very nice. Anyway, I don't know who that is. I'm ignoring them. Okay, so we have the Six of Wands. This is a different energy here. Six of Wands, Three of Cups. Woohoo, celebration. But we got a fight, we got a celebration. Then we have the Five of Wands. And then we have death. Ooh. Touch and go, touch and go. This is very worldly. Very, very, very worldly person. It's almost like a roller coaster. It's almost like, you know what, when you start going up the roller coaster, it's sort of like, ooh, you're really scared. And it's really exciting. It's like, ooh, you know, this is going to be fun. This is going to be great. And you get to the top and you're like, your heart's beating. And it's like a new date. Your heart's beating. It's like, wow. And then you start going down. And it's like, ooh, yes. And then you find out, oh, well, he's not as good or she's not as good as she says. You know, and finding out those red flags, beep, beep, step it back kind of a thing. And then you have the Five of Wands, and then you have death. So there's like a little roller coaster going on with somebody. Now, there's no pentacles here. There is the matter of the heart and the mind. So this could be in somebody's mind. Because here's the thing about the planets right now, before we get into the full moon, well, it's probably about the full moon anyway, we are fighting illusion and fantasy with the planets, illusion and fantasy over reality. So, somebody's playing with my hair. So if you see my hair going up, let me know. So the thing is that with this, you really want to ask yourself, this is a transition, this is a rebirth. Is this my imagination or is this really real? Is it really a roller coaster or am I making it a roller coaster? Is it drama or am I making the drama? Is the drama in my head? Because a lot of the times when we're broken, we think things that are really, really not true. For example, ladies, well, I'm sure men do it too, but I'm going to say more ladies because ladies seem to do this a lot more. Somebody doesn't call you, you're on a date, these are ladies that are not married. So somebody doesn't call you, you went on a date, really, really good, okay, and they said they would call you, talk to you in a few days, or talk to you soon, blah, 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 blah. Well, they didn't call for the first day, didn't call for the second day, and where does your mind go? Pooh! To illusion and unreality and fantasy. Oh, did they find somebody else? Are they with somebody else? Oh my gosh, he didn't call. He said he was going to call. So should I call him? Should I not call him? Oh, I should, maybe he's hurt. Maybe he's, you make up all these excuses and all these illusions and fantasies. And the reality is he's working really hard. Maybe he's worked overtime. He calls you the third day and you're like, oh, hi, that roller coaster again. You got to change that mentality to have a new rebirth. Okay, I don't know who that is for, but you're living in a happiness world, and that's why a lot of relationships don't work because one, the communication is broke down, and two, you're in illusion rather than a reality. Because the thing is, with any of this here, you have to look at each other's perspective, not your perspective. You have to look at their perspective, and that person has to look at your perspective. And then when you understand each other's perspective, you can come into the middle and have an agreement or agreeance, or you can say, I disagree to agree. I agree to disagree. And you leave it at that. No fight. You don't have to have a fight. If people are fighting, there is a breakdown in communication. No need to fight at all. When things begin to rise, you stop it and bring it down because the chemicals in your brain begin to change and nobody's listening anyway. So you have to bring it back down so that those chemicals can change, because what happens when you get into a fight, your frontal lobe, which is your decision making, gets shut down. It all goes to the back of your brain, and then your frontal lobe. So the frontal lobe's not even thinking, not even trying to decide. So everybody's going in and one out the other. So the other thing is that you've got to just step away. I'll never have a fight in my life. Never. I did before when I was worldly, but I've not had a fight spiritually because I've learned how to communicate. I've learned how to control. All right. So let's go to the health, or actually I'm going to do wealth, health, and love next. All right. Oh, so for wealth. Okay. Now wealth, I'm going to say here, guys, wealth to one person is not the same to another. So immediately, as soon as someone says wealth, they think money. So, and this is a new way of doing this spread. So when you're talking about wealth, it may not be money. It may be somebody's family. That's your wealth of a successful family. Children that have grown up, you've successfully made be a good parent. So you have to ask yourself, what is my success in my life? What is success to me? Because that becomes your wealth. That becomes sort of your legacy, what you want to be remembered by. So a lot of people say, oh, Al, if Bill Gates were to pass away right now, what is the first thing you're going to remember him by? His wealth of money. And possibly being a philanthropist. I can't even speak today. A philanthropist who gives a lot of money away. Okay, that's his wealth. But what else do you know about Bill Gates? Not much, right? So that was his wealth to him. Mother Teresa, what is her wealth? Her wealth was helping others, and that was her joy. And that's wealth. Where is your joy? Because if it's in money, it's world. Anything else is joy. All right. All right. So victory. Victory. Now remember, thank you. So they're saying don't mess this up. I'm like, okay, thanks, fine. The thing is that we have the 6 of Wands. Wands is a lot about communication now. But when you're talking about the planets and this as well, and the divine, it is about, oh, this isn't Virgos. Virgos was all about thought, words, and intellectual analysis. Okay. But you're going to succeed. The hard work is going to be seen. People are going to see it. They're going to want to see more of it. They're going to want to ask you how you did it. And it's sort of like when we go to elders, you know, what makes a good marriage work? We go to elders and say, how did you do it? What's the secret? That's sort of what this energy is going to be. This is going to be a transformation process because this is all about your birth. It's going to feel really uncomfortable at first. You're going to doubt yourself at first, but then you're going to say, you know what? No, I worked hard at this. I know how to do this. I know a gentleman whose wife passed away and he had to raise 3 girls and 1 boy by himself. And his success is really apparent by his children. And it was a lot of hard work, but he made it. And he did it all on his own. Well, not without divine, but he's worldly, so he doesn't believe in that kind of stuff. But the thing is that it is but he thinks it's about money, about giving them the money to help, you know, and it's like, no, it's not that at all. Look at where they're at, what they've done in their life. So a lot of that is there. All right. So that's your wealth. So ask yourself, what is your wealth? Where is it? Where is it going to grow? Because in the next couple of months, it is a rebirth time. This is the time where it's going to grow. It's like the garden's now planted and the plants are starting to grow, the abundance. And so then at the very end of the summer, we have a wonderful, wonderful garden full of harvest, abundance, blessings, riches, all that kind of stuff. So ask yourself, what is your wealth to yourself? Because it's coming. So you better know what it is. All right. So your health, woohoo! We have the 3 of Cups. I am seeing a celebration. Somebody, this is not going to be for everybody, but I do see a celebration of somebody getting over cancer. Somebody celebrating that they're in remission or celebrating that there's no sign of it. This is wonderful and beautiful. That's just a huge release. People celebrating. This is actually a good, joyful time. This is a time to really, wherever you're at in your life, whether you're young, middle-aged, retired, this is a time to celebrate life for everything that we have. Be joyful because your health is where it's at, and probably if you're in a good stage, doesn't even matter where you're at. You still have to be thankful for what you have, because for whatever reason, we are still here on this earth. There's a reason why we're supposed to be here, but it does say take care of it better. Virgos had where they need more rest. So make sure that you're taking care of your health. Looks like things are really, really good for you guys right now. However, if you're seeing something coming up, or if you're seeing a pain, an ache, or something's just not quite right, this is the time to check it out. All right. And then we have the, for love, it's missing. The 8 of Cups, it's missing. So something is missing. Something is definitely not quite there. It's not that it's missing, it's just temporarily on hold. And that's not for everybody. Okay, that's not for everybody. This is just because, thank you. So this is the process to pay attention to the transformation that is happening in you. So as I teach in coaching, really pay attention to your singleness. If you are single, pay attention to your singleness, because there is a transformation that you need to do, you need to process, you need to think and happen. And when you don't expect it, it will pop in. But we have to transform. We have to do this. We have to work on ourselves. And we have to work on our higher self while we are single. Because once we're with somebody, then we cannot work on our higher self as easily, because now we got another person that we have to pay attention to. So again, work this. Thank you. So Divine saying, what is your joy while you are single? Please be joyful before you meet somebody. So what he's saying there is, make sure that you're happy in your individual person, because if that person isn't always there, the other person isn't always there, you still need to be joyful in your life by yourself. So like I told Virgos, we need to, in our singleness, find out what is missing in our own joy first, because you can't bring somebody in and you don't even know what your joy is, because we try to find joy in somebody else. That's not what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to actually be joyful in everything that we want for ourselves. And then that person comes and they're joyful in their life. That's called being healed. That's a healthy relationship, and they're happy. And all it is you bring each other together for dessert, sort of kind of a thing. And that's a togetherness and a bonding, which should become verbal, then emotional, then physical kind of a thing. I'm talking about fun stuff, not abuse. All right, but I'm talking about that. So, but if you're married and you're having troubles, there's something hidden here that you got to get to the core of it, sort of like the elephant in the room. Okay, so this elephant in the room, and it's trying to hide behind the sofa, and there's no way it's going to fit. You guys got to talk about it. You got to talk about it, because then when you do, that's going to bring you closer together and bring more joy back into the relationship. Now, for those of people that are married and their joy is missing, needs to maybe time to have a date night, at least once a month, twice a month. I would say weekly, almost date night every week. If you're really having troubles, date night, to rekindle and give that relationship a new transformation and a new process. Okay. So that you know about that. For those who are together with somebody or married, that would be that thing. So there's something definitely not quite right there. Something sort of hiding, something missing. This isn't a bad thing. This is a beautiful thing, because when we figure somebody else out and we find out what was missing, oh, well, if I'd only known, why did you tell me? Then it would have been easy. Then but we do work out of fear a lot of the times. But the Hierophant is saying, don't work out of fear. Okay. All right. And this relationship could be this first person here where somebody was really, really good with friends. Something went happening, things were missing or hiding or whatever. They went away, and whatever went on with life became worldly, and now they're back and humbled. This might be for that relationship too. All right. All right, guys, Capricorns, that is your reading for the 10th through the 16th. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will be doing a live new moon reading on the 11th. I just don't know the time yet. So please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. And please share with your friends. All right. And we will see you on the 17th. Otherwise, we'll see you on the new moon reading. Take care.